Call this meeting of the Marlborough Council to order. Everyone please rise for a pledge of allegiance and moment of silence for the armed services.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Brenda, may we please have roll call?
Counselor Andrews. Counselor Catalani.
Here.
Counselor Flagel.
Here.
Counselor Caroli.
Here.
Counselor Rydell. Here. Counselor Tache.
Here.
Counselor Scheer.
Here.
Mayor Carpenter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Just a reminder to everyone to please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. And also a reminder to council members, please turn on your microphones if they are not already on. No special visitors, which takes us to public comment period number 1. Please step up to the microphone at the podium and state your name and address for the record, and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anyone?
Well, good evening. Glad to see everybody's here. I appreciate some of the work that the council has had to go through. It's a time of the year that's always difficult.
Name and
Oh,
address,
Thomas
please.
Miller, 306 West Walnut Street.
Thank you.
Apologize.
Got you
Yes.
just in time.
Oh, let's see, where was I at? Okay, anyway, no, I do appreciate everything that the council is working on. Certainly want the town to be great again. So just keep up the good work and hopefully we can move forward on it. So thanks very much for everything you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay. Closing public comment period number 1. Moving on to the consent calendar. The following agenda items will be acted upon by a single motion, unless a member of Borough Council wishes a specific item to be voted on separately. Approve the minutes of the November 12th, 2024 Borough Council meeting. Approve payment of all bills listed on the October 2024 detailed check listing report. And approve the treasurer's report for the period October 1 through October 30th, 2024.
I have questions. Okay, so in the minutes, on page 2, did we decide on $50 for the UCC? Was it decided? I know we were talking 25 and 50 and I thought it was just 2. Okay, that was my question. I honestly couldn't remember the conversation. And on page 5, the reopening of the 2025 budget, the second line, it should say $819,000, not $819.
Good catch.
We wish it was
Wow, that would be a great budget.
$819.
We'll make those corrections.
Okay. And I thought we got it down to 610 instead of 707.
I thought it was.
Yeah. I reported that I was able to take it down to 707, and then with the police.
Oh, got it.
The police
Okay,
gave
but
us
the
more
police
money
gave
back.
us more, so
Yeah.
that dropped it to 610. Okay. Great. Other than that, I move to accept with the changes. The minutes. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a real quick one. On page 17, with the boot allowance, came to 175.
We're not talking budget yet.
We're not?
We're approving the minutes and the treasurer's report and check listing report. We're getting there.
Been having nightmares.
It's
about
okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
I get it.
this. It's like, oh, I didn't think.
Any other questions or concerns on the minutes of November 12th, the October check listing, or the treasurer's report for October? Okay, do I have a motion to approve with corrections?
Have a motion.
Okay. I'll second.
And second, Nancy.
Nancy,
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. All right, that takes us to action discussion items, 2025 preliminary budget discussions. Anthony, what's your, go ahead.
Excuse me?
Go ahead. Now we're at that part.
Okay. I lost the page.
17.
Oh, yeah. So page 17, I was, we were going through this, I'm sure we all saw this, but, I think we agreed on the 150 for the boot allowance, and it comes to the 175. And I guess what currently they have, 120 is their allowance? So,
I'm sorry, what line are you on here?
Public Works Department,
Oh, there it is, okay.
431.91.
yeah.
Anthony,
Yeah,
the calculator.
sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Should be 750 to meet the
Yeah.
150.
Yep.
Yep.
Were you finished?
Yeah, for right now,
Okay.
there's someone else, yeah.
Okay, so I have on page 10, our, in 100, account number 100. Now our beginning balance is even less than it was.
Yes.
It is that, so that's like 20, almost $50,000. Okay.
If you look at your, the consent calendar, where the general fund was at the end of October.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's scaringly low, $70,000. Now, we have gotten more revenue, we're closer to 300,000 again.
Okay.
But still, that's way lower than what we normally are this time of year, so.
Okay. Page 15. Line 410, 115. Now, we didn't have anything in the draft budget. There was nothing listed for wages, part-time crossing guards.
Right.
Okay,
I was assuming that the crossing guards were
We're
still in the
still-
police budget, but they
okay.
are not.
okay.
So,
And that is correct, that, it goes that high with the,
yes, because this is the year that the school district agreed to raise their rates to $18 an hour
Okay.
to try to get more crossing guards.
and for 410, 192, and 194. Social Security and unemployment, is that for crossing
That'll
guards?
be for the crossing
Okay.
guards.
The school district is paying half of that 51,030?
Yes.
Okay.
And then just one more, the page 16. I thought, the subtotal in account 410. I thought that was more like 2,054,000. What we discussed on
That's what the
Monday.
regional cost to us was. And then you,
Gotta add the crossing guards,
crossing guards,
security.
Yeah, you add those 3 line items up, that gets you the
Got it,
2,114,000.
got it. Okay, those are my questions. God, this is ugly.
So, Madam President, I actually redid spreadsheets again. It actually has the previous drafted budget, and then I included the updated, that way you can see comparison of numbers side by side, instead of flipping back and forth between budget panels. And this one packet includes the revenue, and then we go into the expenditures.
So what was this based off of?
So what Roger has given us all together.
Okay,
So the budget 2025 line, that is what we got last packet, the draft.
Originally.
Originally. The updated is what has been updated in this packet that we received this on Friday.
Okay,
So we can see numbers side by side.
okay.
This is prelim.
Roger, did our premium go up in workman's comp, I take it?
Yeah, everything was adjusted according to real world numbers.
Right.
Yeah. And we still have not gotten our official numbers for all the insurances yet. So that's still the budgeted or anticipated increase, 5% increase, so it may be less than that. It probably will be less than that, but we don't know yet for sure.
Roger, on on general fund, page 14. 403, 101 attached budget, did that go up because the adjustment for the millage? Is that why that one went up compared to last time?
I'm sorry, what line was it?
403, 101, tax
Thank
collector,
you.
Lebanon County.
Yeah, that's because they changed the bills from 50 cents a bill to $1.
Okay, that's wondering why it's doubled.
Yep.
Jump back and forth. In the revenue on page 10, 331, 100 be the first. We have nothing coming in for the district magistrate.
Not anymore, it goes to regional
So that
police.
that all goes regional, that's why we got cut in half last year too, because it's all on regional police now. Oh, and Parks and Rec, page 20, 451, 158. You added in the library's life, accidental death and disability of the 855 got put in there instead of under the library page. In the library.
No, it
page,
should be
it's
there.
in twice.
Well, there's library people that are on the plan, and then there's also rec people that are on the plan.
Okay, so they're both
Base one.
855, okay. And then under page 19, traffic control devices, I thought the last meeting, under 433, 740, we said no to the battery pack. And that's still in there.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I thought that too.
That's what was in the minutes, so.
Yeah,
That's still in there.
What line, Marcus?
That would be 433, 740, major purchase of the 11,390.
Thank you.
Roger, on my packet, I did the same thing I did last time, I put a second one and just
Oh, yeah,
trying to
there it is.
comprehend numbers.
That is in there.
I don't know if there's some things we can change or not, to try to help it down a little bit.
I thought we did.
What's
so many.
Thought we agreed on taking the battery.
It's,
for
yeah, I
legal.
just looked, it's in there.
I left it in because I wasn't sure. I know it was discussed,
know
but
we
I didn't
talked
think
about it.
there was a final decision on it, so I just left it in.
Well, there were a lot of ideas floating around
Right.
and it gets,
Okay, so is everybody okay with taking the battery back up for the traffic signal at
Yes,
Main Street
yes.
and Lingle Avenue
I mean-
out? Jim?
Pay a cop to stand there.
Okay. All right, so can you take that one out, Roger? 433, 740 on page 19. Does anybody have anything else regarding the budget?
besides the fact that it stinks.
Yeah, besides that. Okay, so, at the conclusion of budget discussions, following action must be taken. Required advertisement of the preliminary budget. Suggested motion is to authorize the borough manager to advertise the 2025 preliminary budget and to make the 2025 preliminary budget available for the required 10-day public review period pursuant to section 1308A of the Borough Code for final consideration of the budget to occur at the Monday, December 23rd, 2024 Borough Council meeting.
I'll make the motion to advertise.
Now, just so everybody's clear, this is advertising it, this is not voting on it yet. This is just allowing the public to look at it and review it.
I'll second it.
Okay, I'd like a roll call.
You want a roll call?
Yeah, please.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to approve the advertising of the 2025 preliminary budget. Counselor Catalani,
No.
Counselor Fliegel,
Yes.
Counselor Coroli,
Yes.
Counselor Rydell,
No.
Counselor Tache,
Yes.
Counselor Shear.
Yes.
Motion approved, 4-2.
If you guys have suggestions on what we can do, I mean, we can always go down, can't go up.
No, I don't think there is anything. We're all.
I know, I've been doing this a lot of years and I've never seen a budget like this. I mean,
Well,
it's,
I think it's gonna happen every year for a little bit until we're missing a good amount of money.
In the
That's
11
it.
years I've done budgets with the
Yeah.
Borough Council, I've never seen a budget this difficult.
But, yeah, well, I still think it's, you know, a lot of reasons factors because we're missing a big source of income, the police. And until they gain more, this is how it's gonna be.
Well,
And they
it's
told
not
us that when we went
income,
through the
it's
meetings.
the fact that we have to
Right.
pay them.
Right.
Instead of.
So the
having-
300, yeah, we're down that, yeah.
Okay. Ordinance number 833, amend Chapter 48 Pensions, Chapter 59 Police, and Chapter 100 Alarm Systems of the Palmyra Borough Code of Ordinances. Discussion on and if appropriate, suggested motion to enact ordinance number 833, an ordinance to amend the Palmyra Borough Code of Ordinances to reflect the formation of the Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department, eliminate the police pension fund, and revise and update penalty and enforcement provisions.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No,
Abstain.
Your abstention is for what reason?
I did not, wasn't with everybody to work on the police department, and I just feel in my good conscience I can't vote for anything with or against them.
That's not a valid reason to abstain. So it's either a yes or no vote. You're voting no?
Yes.
Okay. Abstentions are usually for conflicts.
All right, ordinance number 834, 2025 real estate tax ordinance. Discussion on if appropriate, to authorize, the suggested motion to authorize the borough solicitor to prepare and advertise ordinance number 834, the 2025 real estate tax ordinance, to set the real estate tax rate pursuant to section 1310.1 of the Borough Code for the year 2025 at the following rates. Real estate tax at 5.3 mils, fire tax at 0.67 mils, and public library tax at 0.06 mils.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it, it's just to advertise.
Yeah. Roll call again, please.
Okay, this is for,
Hopefully we get there.
Yeah. Again, this is just to advertise it.
okay, this is a vote on the real estate tax ordinance. If you vote yes, you vote to approve the preparation and advertisement of ordinance 834. Counselor Catalani,
no,
Counselor Fliegel,
Yes.
Counselor Caroli,
Yes.
Counselor Rydell,
No.
Counselor Touche,
Yes.
Counselor Shear.
Yes.
The motion passes 4-2.
All right, ordinance number 835. Discussion, 2025 sewer rates. Discussion on, if appropriate, discussion on and if appropriate, a suggested motion to authorize the borough solicitor to prepare and advertise ordinance number 835, an ordinance to amend Chapter 288 sewers of the Code of Ordinances of the Borough of Palmyra in order to increase the rates charged for domestic sewage from the current $98 per quarter to $109 per quarter for flat-rate residential dwelling units, and from $98 to $109 per quarter for commercial units, plus $10.90 per each 1,000 gallons over 10,000 gallons used, effective January 1st, 2025.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
You want a roll call? Okay. Okay. Ordinance number 835, if you vote yes, you're voting to increase the quarterly bill from 98 to 109 per quarter. Counselor Catalani,
no,
Counselor Fliegel,
Yes.
Counselor Caroli,
Yes.
Counselor Rydell,
Yes.
Counselor Touche,
Yes.
Counselor Shear.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-1.
Resolution 2024-23, 2025 refuse rates. Discussion on and if appropriate. Suggested motion to approve Resolution 2024-23, a resolution to increase the 2025 refuse collection rates from the current $89 per quarter to $112 per quarter effective January 1st, 2025.
I'll make the motion again.
I'll second that one. Roll call. Thank you.
Okay, this is for Resolution 2024-23. If you vote yes, you're voting to increase the collection rates from 89 a quarter to 112 per quarter. Counselor Catalani,
No.
Counselor Fliegel,
Yes.
Counselor Coroli,
No.
Counselor Rydell,
No.
Counselor Touche,
Yes.
Counselor Shear.
Yes.
We have a 3-3 vote. That takes it to the mayor. Mayor, the motion on the table is to raise the refuse rates in 2025 from $89 per quarter to $112 per quarter. There's a 3-3 tie. You are required to break the tie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. The resolution, though, has I think a typo in it.
The resolution itself.
Yes. It says, approved a new 3 hauling contract effective. I think it should say 3-year.
3-year, yeah.
Can go print out.
Okay, Resolution 2024-24, authorize statewide local share assessment grant application. Discussion on and if appropriate, suggested motion to approve Resolution 2024-24, a resolution authorizing application for a statewide local share assessment grant from the Commonwealth Financing Authority and to name the designated officials to execute all documents and agreements between the Commonwealth Financing Authority and the borough for 100% of the funding needed for the replacement of the borough's 2007 sewer jetback hydro excavation truck with a replacement cost of $572,091.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Well, it was easy.
We'll get through that one.
Okay, President's report. Just want to wish everybody a blessed and happy Thanksgiving with family and friends, and we'll be back next month. That's all I've got. Takes us to the financial report, our financial statement as of October 31st. Any questions on that? I guess, Jane. Jane, you got any questions?
No.
Anthony?
No.
All right. Fire department.
Who wants? No, don't.
Yeah,
You can go first.
Roger
So I
can
get
go
to break
first.
more bad news. Wow.
Roger gets to break this one.
The fire chief requested the meeting of the Fire Services Commission because he's seeing the writing on the wall that volunteerism is basically dead. They're just scraping by now, getting calls. They're failing on some calls, but bottom line is we've known this has been coming for several years, and he's basically requesting the borough and the township and any other municipality that's interested in partnering and to try to start looking at paid fire service to some degree. Because he doesn't, he
Take what the
can't.
police make times two.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
How
double
can
it.
you do that
Just
in
double it.
regional? It's just-
It's required by law.
Yeah.
That
We
one is-
must
well,
provide
we
fire
provide
service.
fire service, yes.
That's the kicker.
That one's required.
But we have to provide fire service.
Move out of this town.
Now,
Well-
Roger, is this, did we ever get the fire study back yet?
No.
Report from that fire study that we approved a couple months ago?
Fire study. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're,
New fire commission that they
Yeah, the
approved.
review that the
Yeah.
state was going to do to check everything out, that we approved a couple months ago.
I don't think that ever went through.
No.
That was not approved,
Yeah.
because we don't have a commission or authority. We have a commission that really hasn't been,
To do the study though, just like they did with the regional police that we approved.
I think
them.
you're talking about when they were talking about creating a regional authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, they said they wanted a study done.
Yeah,
They wanted
and
a
it's-
study done.
I don't, no, like, I think that whole thing's falling apart, because there's no,
there's no cooperation.
well, there's no legality as far as like an emergency services authority kind of thing in the state yet, so I think that was what the kibosh to that is. In fact, I know I talked to our solicitor about that, and she just said stay away from an authority for that kind of stuff for now until the state actually enacts something that will allow an authority to do billing for an emergency service type thing, so. So I guess the results of the meeting were, North London area was gonna check on some things, I had some homework to do, and then we were gonna try to start meeting like every other month, beginning January 1st, to try to figure out exactly to what extent. Because obviously you're gonna wanna try to phase it in, or not. Some places are, there's about 7 other municipalities that are thinking about this now too, and there's a defined group pool of employees available.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of young people that wanna be firefighters, so there is some available, and whoever, the chief is saying, whoever acts first is gonna get the best pool of candidates in-house and ready to go. Those who wait will be suffering from people who no longer want to be firefighters, paramedics, police officers, you name it, so. So that's another concern.
Is South London area involved in talks in this one at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're-
I mean, we would certainly reach out to them, but I don't know that they'll participate.
They're,
Not right now.
I was gonna say, maybe, I'm sure they're dealing with the same effects. The whole country's dealing with
Yeah, everybody.
problems with volunteer firefighters. Not problems with the volunteers,
It's a lack of.
problems getting volunteers, yes.
That's why Waterworks and Bell Grove are
Yes.
are merging
And
together.
Lebanon just had 2 or 3 stations merge not that long ago.
Well, they shut down, 'cause they're still, Lebanon's paid, but they have volunteers.
No, I mean, the outskirts of Lebanon, Never Sink, and I think there were 3 of them. Don't hold me to the names. I think they were doing it. Any more good news?
So we went through the budget meeting and then had to have that meeting the
Yeah.
next night where they're telling us.
The very next night.
We're not gonna
No,
make it
2 days
happen.
later.
Yeah.
2 nights later, yeah.
Yeah, he basically said he can no longer guarantee 24/7 fire service coverage.
Correct. And he's thinking that more people will leave shortly.
aging out, too.
Yeah, they're aging out and moving away, and life
35
circumstances.
years old, my body can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Nancy's husband, I know he's still,
Same way.
he's still there, but they're aging out.
I don't think anybody's thinking full paid fire company right away.
No,
We'd like to see it,
that'd be about
Phase
$4
in.
million a year.
and we,
At least, yeah.
by phasing in, we need to look at that sooner rather than later, because it's happening quicker, I think, than any of us thought it was gonna happen. I mean, you all know we've been talking about it for years, but it's becoming a dire circumstance quicker
I think one of the hardest
than we
things,
thought.
and Nancy, correct me if I'm wrong, I know other places over here, the hardest one's against drivers.
Yep.
That's the big one.
I was wondering about that, because Lebanon City has paid drivers, the rest are volunteers.
Well, they have a few paid staff guys too.
They
Yeah.
improved that. I mean, is that something we can look at?
That's what the commission,
That's-
that's what the
that's-
commission's gonna
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And we have to do it with the commission because it's not only our funds, it's the funds from the township.
I
Is
think,
that the
I think the
first step
biggest
we're
thing
looking
is
at?
though to know like who's all gonna join, because if it's just gonna be us and one other person, we're gonna run into the same problem we are in right now. So I mean, I'm all for helping the fire, trust me, just like the police, but we're a town of 8,000 people with a median income of 55,000. Like, we can't just say yes to everything. Like, if we have 5 other townships that are gonna join this fire, then wonderful. But if we only have one other, then we need to rethink this and come up with a better plan instead of just saying, oh, we have to. Of course we have to, but we need places to join, just like police. We need other townships to join to get our rate down. So that's the biggest thing right there. We can talk about it all like, oh, what about a drive? Well, no, we need to know how many townships are gonna join, point blank,
Anthony,
simple.
whether we get somebody to join
One
us
or
or
none.
not,
Yeah.
we must by law provide
have
fire
to provide
services
fire
to this
service.
borough.
I'm not saying we're not gonna provide.
No,
I'm saying
no,
that we
but I'm
can't
saying
do
whether,
anything right now.
whether we find somebody to join with us or not, that's
Well,
irrelevant at this
No,
point.
but we can't do anything right now to pay them or anything until we know like what other
We have to figure it
townships-
out.
Well, we need to figure out this is part of figuring out
because
what other
If
townships.
we get a fire call and we don't have anybody that can respond, we can't sit here and say,
Then
oh,
we
I'm
better
sorry,
fig-
we can't afford it. We're gonna have big-time lawsuits
Then we
coming
better-
down on us.
Then we better figure it out
we
and figure
must
out what
provide it.
townships wanna join us before we run this town into bankruptcy.
But you can invite anybody
You
to
can
come to the
invite
table, but
everybody,
if they
but
don't, they won't.
even if it's just us and North, it has to be done. I mean, the
Then-
discussion at least has to be had.
I get your
guess.
points.
Lebanon
I get what you're
City.
saying.
Lebanon City's had a fire service, since
I know.
almost even before I came to town. They did it through the tax basis, but they only hired one driver for 3 stations. In other words, there was three stations. I'm screwing this up. There was, what, 7 or 9 stations at the time, and each house had 3 engines, 3 workers, and like you said, the county used to send units in to back them up.
So, I think in the meantime, what other areas like could have our backs? Like, okay, if we can't pay them and we're falling volunteers short, like, can Hershey have our back? Can
No,
another
they're in
area?
worse shape than we are.
Well, this is thinking, like,
So-
we need a
It's everywhere,
thinking
Anthony.
tank,
It's not
right?
just
Like,
us, it's everybody.
I get that, but like, in order to come up with ideas, that we gotta
Anthony,
think
we've
about
been
it.
doing this for
We've been
years.
doing
No,
this
I
for
get
years.
that, but
Yeah,
I
but you're
haven't
just
been.
act- Yeah, but you're
I
just acting
haven't
like
been.
we're ignoring you. We're not.
I know you're not ignoring me.
We've
but-
tried all
banged
the
our heads on their
options,
doors.
and this is
But-
what we're left with.
I get that, but we said the same thing with the regional police, and now look where, I'm not saying I don't support police, fire, or anything like that, I'm looking at the money, okay? And that's what we need to look at, we can't just be like, oh, okay, yes. I know the writing's on the
We're
wall,
not.
but I know you're not, well, how last time went with the regional police, like, we shouldn't have done it, we should have done a different plan. And this here, yeah, we're probably gonna have to, but we need to talk to, what happened to Northern Lebanon, like, up there?
That was the authority thing, and that.
They don't wanna join anything?
Well, number one, the authority is not recognized in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
you
Number
can't do
two, we have to look at our coverage area too, because we don't want our rigs sitting up on Interstate 81 on a
Right.
crash and not covering us. We join with them, they pull our resources out. Now, all of a sudden, we're gonna call Campbelltown to come up to cover us because our
What-
guys are,
Good luck with that.
Well, what about Anvil? What about Anvil?
you know.
Wouldn't
I mean,
Anvil?
Anvil Clan is their own station.
Well, we gotta talk to them, entice them. It's about talking sales. I'll go over talk to them. Like this, we cannot just say yes to one other township or we're
We're
gonna
not
be
saying this,
screwed.
Anthony, and you know I agree with you with a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
I've done 35 years, I've seen this.
I
writing on
get
the
it.
wall
I
since
get the
the
reins on the wall. I'm looking at the money though, and we're gonna be
What
so
would be
hurting.
optimal is to have more than just
We need
the
3.
township and the
I
borough.
We need
agree with
3.
you on that. But
But
this is just
even
a start,
if,
we're not voting
even
on it
if we
tonight.
don't
Then-
have three, we have to do it with two.
Then-
Legally, we have
Then,
to do it.
then maybe we look at it that we just pay the driver and that's it.
That's what.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what we
yeah,
just-
no.
so,
But,
yeah, that's
but
what
we
just
don't go to
talked
that
about.
right away. First thing is we need to see how many people we can get. We need to talk to Anvil right away, entice them, whatever.
Okay, so
We
what-
get three,
You gotta
then we
watch
can.
that because they're already gonna merge themselves.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you don't violate their
Yeah.
state law if they're merging.
Okay, that's fine, but we need to do something. We can't just like say,
And I
oh,
agree with
Well-
you, but
we're stuck.
tonight's not
I
gonna be the night.
I really think the commission that you have working together will come up with viable solutions. I mean, you know, I don't think it's necessary for you to lose sleep over it right now.
All I know is that I see a lot on social media where people say, I can't afford living in this town anymore. I'm moving out. Oh, I'm moving out too. I love this town, but I'm moving out.
Hey,
I've seen it
I get it.
so much, it's even more this year. And so, I don't know,
I get it. I'm one of them. It's getting to the point where I can't even afford the taxes on my house.
yeah. And I support all of it. It's just, I'm just looking at the money, that's all.
I think that comes out in January.
When does the new school tax come out?
Don't,
Is that January?
oh, that's,
Why it's
Due in
middle of the year.
August.
Middle of the
July.
year.
July.
It's the minimum monthly new
That's
rate
about
add
July.
tax, whatever they're paying now.
So
I wait till the
we
school
didn't-
tax comes.
decide when our next meeting is, correct?
It's the 23rd, I thought.
We just said we would try to get back together in
No,
January.
no, 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 Fire Commission.
Oh, no, no, no.
Like, wait, when did we decide that? So we're gonna start looking at
Who can we
options.
get to come to the meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna
That's
start,
where we'll start.
yeah. We're just starting this. We're just letting you guys know what's going on. We're not making any decisions yet,
No, it's
Anthony,
fine. I'll reach
okay?
out to my
Please don't lose
contacts too.
sleep.
I'm not gonna lose sleep. I'm looking at the money, like,
You're
just like
sounding
for
like you're
everyone.
gonna lose sleep, and I'm worrying about
I've
you.
lived in this town my whole life, and this is
So have
first
I.
thing that I'm frustrated because I don't have the votes to go a certain way, which is common sense in my opinion. But I will make calls too, because we need to get as many people as we can to join up. We need to, point blank simple.
We
and
know
if we
that
don't-
too, I know.
Well, we did with the regional police, and look what happened. We had so many people say, it's a good idea, we support it, but we need a different plan. And now, and so I'm saying the same thing, we need more. We can't just say, I know, like, we need to. We need to.
President Chair, if allowable, I'll volunteer to help the commission. When time comes.
Keep that in mind. Thank you. Okay. Anything else, Roger, on that?
I don't think so. It's enough.
Roger is done talking.
Roger, we would skip it over your report tonight.
Okay. We knew that wasn't gonna be pretty. Library report.
You'll have it for your next meeting. I just didn't get a chance to type it up.
No worries. Okay, Western Lebanon County Regional Police Department.
Questions on the stats that are in front of you? We're also hosting training on Monday. We're doing an auto theft class down at the new 911 center. We have 2 people in that class, and I'm gonna say
Where's that at? The new center.
Property.
it has another like 21, 22 people in the class, so we have a good showing for that.
Andy, you need to speak in your microphone. Nobody can hear you. Thank you.
Talk loud.
No, you do not.
I can
Are
barely
there
hear
any
you.
questions on the stats?
No, I need to give you lessons. You need to talk right into the microphone.
All right, now, and I said we were hosting training on Monday. We're sending 2 people to the class. It's an auto theft class, and we got about another, taking our people off, we probably have 20, 21 people that are attending. So, that's all I got.
Could you speak up? I didn't hear you.
Any questions for Police Chief?
No.
Okay, Nay? Questions? No. Good? Rec Commission,
Roger will email the report when he gets it.
okay. Solicitors Report.
Nothing for her.
I don't think we got anything, okay. Zoning and codes enforcement, zoning hearing board, no hearings were conducted Monday, November 18th, which takes us to the borough manager's report. East Ridge Road, Melrose Phase 1 update off-site stormwater. Options for discussion and consideration. Borough troubleshoots and repairs existing drain tile, north side of East Ridge Road, and requires developer to pay park and rec fee in lieu of money to borough instead of using it for stormwater improvement. B, developer removes the existing drain tile pipe along the north side of East Ridge Road within our existing easement area and install the new drainage infiltration system and allow the water to flow east along the north side of the road. Borough would pay the difference in cost between the park and rec fee in lieu money and cost of project, which would be $16,393.31. Or C, property owners reconsider granting the necessary stormwater easements on their properties to enable developer to use park and rec fee in lieu money to extend existing discharge pipe underground to the south of an east-west alley right-of-way to a temporary dead-end inlet on the east side of North Lincoln Street.
Has there been any update on this at all? And
No.
when are we gonna have to make a decision on this?
I don't know, I mean, they're only in phase one of the
Right.
project. They're gonna have a second phase. Bob Riahi, the developer, did come in and talk to me earlier this week. He's concerned with like what's going on too, because he's trying to plan. And I think he needs to still connect the pipe in that inlet, so I think he's gonna be looking for some help from you. He might be able to provide some financial assistance if you give him permission to do it, so we can talk about that afterwards, but, that way everything would be functioning, and then it's just a matter of, are we gonna, it's up to the property owners if they wanna be able to do that southern and western expansion. It didn't sound like council was interested in doing the north option, cause that's an extra 16,000, and by next year it'll probably be more than that. So it's either,
Yeah, we have.
you
Did we
take the
reach
part-
out to the property owners yet to find
I
out if
have
they'd
not, this,
reconsider?
well, yeah, I haven't had any time to do it.
That's right, we're in budget season.
There's only 24 hours.
I forgot we're in budget season, I'm sorry.
And it's hunting season.
Don't know how I
too,
forgot
so-
that, but.
And if you decide to take the rec fee in lieu of, you could use that towards the loop trail. Match.
Or you could put it towards the basketball court for the community. Because you should give back to the community.
Yeah, if you take the rec fee money, we have to spend it in 3 years or we gotta pay it back, so. So it sounds like option B is off the table.
Yeah.
We could at least take one off the table.
Yeah.
I think that's a consensus, correct?
Oh, B's off the table.
It's off the table.
Anybody for B? Okay, just checking. Okay, so we're down to A and C.
So C's the one we talked about before, that would go down, there's a possibility of water coming back out in the street at the bottom of the inlet, right?
Yeah, the pipe, it would get piped underground to the south and into the west in an old alley right of way to Lincoln Street. And it would just bubble out until we get it connected to the new system that we have in place now, so.
Which would be the better in the long run?
Which was
5 years
which was
down the
yours?
road, which would be the better one? Stormwater wise.
Yeah, it probably would be.
This would be better.
Okay, of the two that are left,
Yeah.
Would be better.
doesn't address the water coming down by your house. Eventually on C, Roger, that would end up getting connected at some point.
Yeah. Yep, it would, yep.
What's
I
the,
just get worried about the winter time and having a
Okay, so,
ice sheet there.
so that's my question then. That's gonna cost us money. So why would we take B off the table if that's the better fit? If we're gonna do C, hypothetically, if we're gonna do C and have to connect it to our new, under the railroad track, right? That's gonna cost us money. So then why would we take B off if that's the better
Cost us
option?
more than 16,000. Roger,
Well, you're, yeah.
200,000.
Yeah, so B should stay on.
so what's the time frame of connecting that?
I would just say as you, we could, because we can do that with our own forces. So it's just
Which
a matter
letter?
of.
C? Or B? Which one are we talking about doing our own forces?
Yes.
See, it's our guys.
But it still costs.
Still gonna cost us money.
Because the idea of the Phase A system was to have inlets and pipes on all those streets so that it's not just sheet flowing down over the hill. It'd be running into, and we can work from, once we get it under Railroad Street, we can work from that point up the hill as we have time to do so.
But either,
Yeah, so it's, you're just buying pipes and inlets and things like that, so.
well, and even though it would be done in-house, it's still man-hours.
Yeah,
Not that we have to bill ourselves for man-hours, but it is taking away from some other things that they have to take care of, so. So I'm not sure that taking B off was such a great idea.
We could always put it back on.
yeah, I pretty much told Bob, because he wants us to make a decision, and I said, well, I don't really think we have to make a decision. You've got a second phase coming yet. So this, and you're not gonna owe the rec fee money
He's not gonna
until-
push us to make a decision.
Until you're, he's not gonna owe that until he's done with the development, really, I mean, so we have some time to think about it.
Okay.
Let's not take B off quite yet. Let's keep it on for now.
We're keeping B on now?
Yes,
It's on life support, yes.
put it back on.
Okay, so we're back to 3.
CPR.
Just won't be in the 2025 budget.
All right, what do you have to tell us about the magisterial district judge office lease?
Well, I think I forwarded you the email I sent the county administrator mid-November last year, 2023. And I laid out the cost of what the increase would be because we were on a 6-year renewal period, our second renewal period. And I copied the agreement because the county administrator responded differently, and I'll get into that. But basically, our agreement says for the second option to renew, during the second 6-year term is, we're supposed to use the consumer price index for the Philadelphia, Wilmington, Atlantic City area, for all items. And then it says, there's a little caveat here, it says, or a similar successor index if such index is discontinued. Well, CPI is not gonna be discontinued. So that's out. But I mentioned that on purpose. And it says between July 2017 and July 23. So that's what I did in my email. I took the CPI indexes, the change from 17 to 18, 18 and 19. I listed them in the email like you saw. It was 17.6% and adjusted the monthly rate accordingly. He never responded directly to that email, and I reached out to him earlier this week, and he sent me another email that he found from January 8th of this year, and it was in response to a question that Judge Warner had forwarded him about the lease. And then he started explaining why he didn't agree with what I had given him, and because they have multiple leases in the county for other district justice office, and he just treated ours like theirs. And I'm like, but that's not what ours says. So he said, well, we got close. I said, yeah, but it's not correct. So I don't know. It's about,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're in violation of their lease.
I would say technically, yes. I mean,
Well, and for those of you who do not know, when this building was being designed, we had a spot for them. They said, no, we don't want it. And then at the very last minute, this council chamber would be twice the size that it is if we wouldn't have had to carve out that section for them. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that they're leasing the space. But it's been,
one headache after another.
yes.
Welcome to rental property.
Legally,
Have you
I
asked,
have an issue with this. Because if the shoe was on the other foot,
Oh, yeah, they'd be.
they'd be having a
Yeah.
hissy fit.
I didn't run any of this by Joseph
just-
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
can we get Giselle's opinion on this?
because
Because that's a violation of a lease, as far as I know.
Well,
And I don't
if we
care
file
who
a
it
notice
is.
of eviction, we'll have to file it in that office.
Too bad, so
we
sad.
don't wanna, we don't want that. Yeah. We don't
No,
want that,
but
we do wanna
they
get.
owe money, I'm sorry.
County's in
A lease is a lease, they signed it.
Yeah.
And if they're not paying what they are owing, they need to pay it.
So they have to go through the approval process of the commissioners and have to
Nobody else
approve
would
it.
get to pay what they want.
I would imagine so.
Well, it's a budget
Yeah,
line
it's a
item, I'm
budget
sure.
line item, so, yeah.
So just reach out to the commissioners. Can we, or is Jamie the one handling it?
Well, he's the one
Yeah,
that takes
he's the
care of
county
it.
administrator.
County solicitor handles all the money.
I think we get it worked out, because he even, when he responded, he said, did we ever finalize this? And I don't remember. I don't think we did, obviously, so. I think we can get it worked out, but.
Yeah, see what Giselle says.
Yeah, get Giselle's input, please.
I have a couple other little things. The planning commission met last night, and Steve Ricker's the chairman, and he's also a Rotary member. And he asked me after the meeting if Borough Council would be okay if Rotary would put a peace pole at the square. Now.
A what pole?
A Rotary peace pole.
Oh, okay.
Which is, it's like a 6x6 by 8-foot post. They paint
They're
white
cool.
and they put black lettering on that says, may peace prevail on earth. So I said
And
I
what
would ask.
languages are they putting on it? Are they putting any additional languages?
I have no idea. He didn't even know.
Do they know
So-
where it would go around?
No.
I would need.
It's just an idea, I think, that they're kicking around and.
I think if they knew a location, then we could, but I can't just approve, at least for me, speaking of me,
Yeah, I
like
think
I
we'd wanna
can't.
get more
Yeah,
details,
I need
yeah.
more details.
And a rendering or whatever, or if they've done, I'm
it's not a
assuming
lot-
if it's Rotary, they've done this in other areas, so they probably have some photos of what they look
Oh,
like.
we have
Not a lot
several
of
of them in
space, and you don't
Hummelstown.
wanna like,
Oh,
I
they're
don't-
they're
I-
beautiful.
When I drive through Hummelstown, I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road because it's,
Yeah, it's not like driving on these streets.
yeah.
Yeah, there's several.
Okay.
They're just, and you can choose what language you want. You can say, may peace prevail on earth in multiple languages.
It certainly is a very good thought at this time.
That's for sure. So there's no opposition. basically. We can research it further. There's not a lot of room down there, but,
Research it for, yeah.
no, it doesn't.
You can put it in one of the flower beds.
And the other item was, Public Works guys put the Christmas tree up today, and
The snowflakes are up too.
yeah, and they got all excited. They think we should decorate the square more, and they have all kind of ideas with like doing like archways and put lights on, and maybe even put up one of those ugly blow-up things or whatever. But I didn't know, I didn't know what you felt about that. I mean,
Wow,
it's,
there's
Down to
something
the
in spirit.
VA today,
As long as it doesn't make the power bill
Roger.
go up.
yeah,
As long as it's
Power
within,
bill doesn't go up.
as long as it's
when
within
we
their,
went down to the VA today, I passed
limits.
a lot of houses that were just slapped with anything, and it looked crummy.
We'll do it. I'm all for it.
It's
It
really
makes
nice
them
to.
happy. I mean, they're
I
all
was
into
gonna
it.
say, if they're excited about it,
yeah.
Oh, you should have seen them after the parade.
Oh, they were all
Oh, they're
jazzed.
planning, they said they have to step their game up for next year. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
It's nice having enthusiastic
Yeah, no,
public
that's-
works
hey.
employees.
I
Before, they
agree.
were so browbeaten that they,
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. It's a nice change. Very nice change.
so, what's to come in the future? They're looking to the Memorial Day parade. They
Yeah, they're
they
already
wanna
talking
do
about
things.
Oh, good.
Wow.
I don't even know, because I went to the service, Chris's service, but, or the visitation, and, how did the parade go? Anybody?
There was a lot of people out on the street.
It was a
It
pretty
was
day.
well attended. It was, it was cold, kind of
Yeah.
cold
It
because of
might
the
be the
wind.
first parade on this.
It was sunny.
No,
I-
second
yeah,
one I
you
missed.
were- Brenda said you were there before.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
I don't think we can take any more, Roger. All right, anybody have anything for Roger? No? Okay. No communications. Any other business?
I just want to thank Roger and Brenda for the work during the budget season. You know, we're not the best people to work with at times, and I know we all don't get along there, but that's what's great about being able to voice your opinion. Thank you, everybody, for your hard work, and want to wish our community a happy Thanksgiving and good luck to the deer hunters this coming weekend.
I have nothing to add.
I've got nothing to add. Dave, got anything? Anthony?
No, I'm good. Just have a great Thanksgiving, eat a lot of food, and thank you as well.
Yes. Roger, Brenda, anything?
Another thing?
All right, that takes us to public comment period number 2. Please step to the microphone at the podium and state your name and address for the record. Try to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Andy, is it
3
still
and a half
on?
for you.
Tap it. Yep.
David Bosky, 212 East Ridge Road. I know Roger said that there's not a hurry to decide on the stormwater, but I just want council to understand that the pipe that does come under the road now is jury-rigged into the pipe that also comes down through my yard, and it's uphill, and I would prefer not to end up with a sinkhole if, God, please send us some rain. I'm thinking closer to spring, we may get some of those heavier rains, and I really don't want a sinkhole in the front yard.
So, that being said, and I think it's trying to still wrap around the budget and the trash and the sewer. If we get really into discussion about this like in January, like maybe the first meeting in January, with that, I mean, should we be concentrating on that? I'm thinking, why put it off?
I'm game to talk to
I think we should
anybody
have a
anytime.
game plan at least.
It doesn't even have to be at a council meeting if,
I think we should talk about it every council meeting, just a little, if it's
Yes.
10 minutes or 15, but we should talk about it every meeting and come up with some, throw ideas around. We should.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Don Barry, 711 North Grant. The part that he just talked about needs to be taken care of now. That was an original drain for the road only. And then repeat that. That's for the road only. The way it's rigged now, it's made for the overflow, if it happens. It'll be an issue when the first big storm comes, and not until. You're only spending $16,000 to do it now, before you have to spend millions to connect it to what we're talking about at the railroad tracks. If you put it out on Lincoln, you'll have issues with water in Lincoln. The way it used to be when I moved in there, when none of you were here, there was no issue there until the first big rain, when half my yard got washed away. But there was no issue there when I came to the borough in the old hall. So that's what I had to say about that. I probably had other things on my mind, but we'll forget about it. And it won't be an issue for me in a year. Not because of taxes.
Anybody else? Okay. Closing public comment period number 2. Borough Council will conduct its next public meetings on Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, and Monday, December 23rd, 2024, beginning at 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Where it's warm. I said, I think he's moving where it's warm.